Now, Valorant's a very interesting game because you get all sorts of walks of life that play this wonderful game, and a lot of people have a agent that they would prefer to play. And then there's people who main agents. For example, you'll get the Daddy Jet 9068 maining Jet with his little pocket sage, and that's just a normal meme occurrence that happens in Valorant. So in today's video, what I'll be doing is I will be going over every single agent, which is all 20 of them at the time of this recording, and I will be telling you what your Valorant agent main says about you. Let's get right into it. When it comes to Astra players, Astra's my favorite agent in the game. It's just I don't use her because I find it very difficult when a lot of the times your teammates don't calm, and it's really hard placing your stars. Like, I don't think I have that IQ yet. So if you're a good Astra player, you're a GOAT. You are the 1% of this game. You probably have really good comms. Your mechanics might not be the best, but you make up with your situational awareness and you have the highest IQ. So I appreciate you guys because Astra's a goated agent. Breach is the easiest agent to use. You get a bang for your buck with the stuns, flashes, and aftershock. So overall, he's a cheat code. If you use him, you probably can't use any other agent because you suck and you can't shoot. So you must stun and flash every single person. I do have a 90% win rate with him on Fracture though. What I've experienced, a lot of Brim players sound like the voice actor, like actual Brimstone, and they're always 40-year-old men. I don't know what it is with Brim players. They're either 40-year-old men or they're just older men. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not saying they suck, but like I always get that older gentleman that's using Brim. Usually really cool guys, like, really chill. I can sit there and talk about their most random stuff and they'd listen like a father that I never had. Chamber. This agent went from one of the best agents in the game to one of the worst to go now. Now, I'm going to assume if your main is still Chamber, I'm going to assume that you are an op crutch and you're probably hard stuck, Ascendant, or Diamond. Mainly because the reason is a lot of people I've seen crutch Chamber and main him, and they would get to Immortal and even sometimes Radiant. For example, there's this content creator named Plurto. He has an amazing shot. You might have seen him on TikTok. This man crutched Chamber all the way to Radiant. Literally, that's all he did. And it makes sense because at the time, Chamber was absolutely amazing. But now, you're probably a very depressed individual right now since he has been nerfed out of the ass. Like, I'm assuming you're just an op one trick and you don't really care much about the utility aspect of Valorant. If you main Cypher, you probably are depressed as hell because the amount of rotating you have to do while playing an agent like Cypher is just so infuriating. Now, don't get me wrong. If you main Cypher, you probably watch a lot of that one guy's TikToks. The guy that has the weirdest cage setups and traps, and he has this little like furry wolf in the bottom left. He's like a VTuber, I think. You probably watch a lot of him or you are him. I don't see many people main Cypher at all. I'm going to say you're probably very rare and you have a lot of patience. This is Fade, and I'm going to assume if you made Fade, then you are overall just a good team player. You know that Fade is probably one of the best initiators in the game, and you're just that guy. I appreciate Fade players more than anything, especially when they have crisp comms, because a lot of people that run initiators, they for some reason don't talk, or they just automatically go on that role because they're filling. But like for the people who main Fade, thank you just in advance for having great communication. When it comes to agent like Harbor, I feel like a lot of these people who main Harbor, you're either really high in ranking in this game or you're really low, because he's one of those agents that you have to have so much communication. You have to know his lineups. You need to know how to properly use his gadgets. Basically, if you main this agent, you're probably brand new to this game, or you've been a long-term veteran, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're high Immortal. Besides that, I haven't really seen a lot of Harbor mains, but that's because my bum ass is in Ascendant 3. Maybe I'll see more of you guys. I don't know what it is. I always thought before I got into Valorant that this was a misconception, but I've ran into so many E couples in this game, and there's nothing wrong with them. It's just I just hate when they're like over flirty, if that makes sense. Like it's always these Valorant players that main Jet, they always have that stupid little accent too. Like they have this really annoying lingo. Like why? Where does this come from? It's just so annoying. Can't even do it. I'm just too Canadian. I'm too nice. Like you're a douche. I'm sorry if you main Jet. That's my conclusion. Now, if you main KO, I'm gonna assume that you came from CS, because his flashes are probably one of the hardest to master in terms of universal flashes. Like comparing his flashes to, I don't know, somebody like Sky, it's just way more hard. Like the mechanics behind KO flashes are so difficult. So if you main KO, you guys are nuts at the game. Any KO I've played who mainly plays KO, they've always smoked me. They have the perfect little throws with their nades, and they they're usually really mechanically good. So if you main KO, please be on my team more. Q snipe me and be on my team because I like KO. Like, you have the patience of a Greek god. Sitting on site and then just getting avoided the entire game is the most frustrating thing. And then your teammates wonder why you're 5 and 12 because you have to rotate into a 1v5 every goddamn round because your teammates somehow all die because they're overextending and over peaking and they can't play off each other. Literally, I'm gonna show you what it's like to play KJ right now. This is what it looks like from a KJ player's perspective. Put down all my gadgets and then I just sit on my phone. Look.
Do you want to have children?
No.
Literally, that's it. I'm just sitting on TikTok waiting for my teammates to all die because if I rotate and they somehow fake, then I'm just going to be looking like an idiot because I placed all my util and then my util doesn't, you know, properly fit it. And it's just so annoying. And for some reason, what I've noticed in Ascendant ranking at least is that KJs are the second most backseated agents, like, besides Sage. It seems like the KJ player always gets backseated by the duelist, and there's always like a stigma against these players, when in reality the reason why their KD is negative most games is because they have to rotate so late. It just sucks. I mean, KJ, like, is your mental health okay? Like, what's going on? If you main Phoenix, you are probably really good at the game or you just suck. There's no in between with these Phoenix players because I either have the smartest duelist that I've ever seen that gets on site, palms really well, or I get the idiot that just flashes the entire team and just dies right off the bat and goes 5 and 17. Not because, one, he was just dying off first contact. No, because after a few rounds, he got sick of dying and he just starts baiting and trying to lure. If you main Reyna, you literally have anger issues. I don't know what it is with Reyna players because Reyna herself is the most selfish agent in the game. So when you guys are shitting the bed, you're really shitting the bed. And I don't know what it is with players. It's like they come from other games. They're so gifted mechanically, but they have no idea how to use a leer. They'll have 2 leers left, and I'll just be sitting there. I'm like, you know, you can use this leer for the team for a retake or, you know, getting on the site. Instead, people rather take dry peek. So I think Reyna players are, 1, the dumbest players out of any agent main. 2, they also have the most anger in them. Like why? I understand she's fun, but she's so selfish, man. You're probably a selfish individual, huh? Yeah, you're probably in bed getting your quackers off, and then you give but don't take. If you know, you know. Yeah. Teammate Viper, once again, you are a nerd. Like, why? What is it like being just a nerd? You got these stupid little lineups post plant? Yeah, I hope you miss next time you shoot one. You suck. Like, you suck. And then you question about why your stupid plays don't work. I swear there's only a 5% chance of someone being a good Yoru player because it's so difficult to actually timing with your team what you're doing with the flashes, with the TPs, with all of that. But when there's a good Yoru player, he's the best player you've seen just because how effective they can be and how annoying and frustrating. So if you are that 5% of Yoru players, then good shit. If you're not, then please stop queuing and getting on my team. If you main Silva, you probably have the cheekiest lineups ever seen. Like, you can bounce your arrow just against one wall off another, full charge, and it'll end up on the other side of the map. Some people that have this shock dart lineup, you're a nerd. That's it. You study lineups. You're a nerd. Oh, it bounced off the ceiling and then it, you know, shock darts kills the guy in the spike. Like, we're talking about you arrow from A to bounce it off a wall that will go B, but somehow it'll go into their spawn and ping all of them. And then you'll sit there with an Odin wall banging. I don't even know what map I'm talking about. Anyways, fuck you. Because I feel like Sky, you can really just do so much for yourself with the bird flashes, and you're probably really nasty with them. Like, I've faced some really good Sky players, and it's very satisfying facing and playing with these type of players, even when they're shitting on me. Overall, Sky's a W pick, and if you're using her, you're probably really good at this game. Or you just like her little doggy. Her little doggy's cute. No. You're probably in a relationship. You know, those people that have his fleshlight and her kitten, like just stuff like that. Or you probably think you're Grim. And for example, the people that think they're Grim, they're the worst because they'll try to sage wall the most random stuff and they'll do it over and over and over again, and they'll just lose every single gunfight and wonder why they can't make these stupid plays work. Now, for you Sage mains that don't heal yourself, you're not selfish, and you know how to properly wall stuff off and are big brain, good for you. You're like the 5% of Sage mains that I get on my team. And yes, this is speaking from Ascendant to Immortal lobbies. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, sub, and comment to stick around on this channel. This was more a lighthearted video, so like, don't get your, underwear in your butt. It's not that deep. Just joking. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful day. This was good. Meow.